When you decide to intentionally grow into a different version of yourself, once you make the conscious decision that you want better for your life or you want to elevate your life, there are several things that are going to happen. And most time, these things aren't as pleasant as we would like them to be. Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome to. If you are interested in enhancing your life through the use of powerful affirmations, subliminals, and femininity girl talk, this is a space for you. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with whoever you think that might need it. Oh, and ladies, in case no one told you today, I think you're beautiful and I love you. Now, ladies, I would like to put a disclaimer earlier on in this video that this video is not going to be like any of my other videos. Now, I know I started this YouTube channel a few months ago, and honestly I felt like I should have led my channel with this specific topic, but it didn't feel right, judging that I just started YouTube. Now that a couple of you are watching me, I feel like it's necessary for me to speak on this and speak about certain things that I've experienced that I think that some of you knowing will benefit you, especially if you are trying to elevate yourself. If you feel that God has called you in a way, if you feel that you are chosen in some way, if you feel that you have purpose within you, if you feel that there is something that you need to create and you are taking that step into being the person that you know you have been called to be, then I think it is beneficial for you to watch this video, because there are some of the things that I've experienced, some of the things that I've held on to that I think I am not ready to speak on. I feel in my heart that it's about time to maybe even not speaking entirely of everything, but now I think I need to say certain things to just be at peace with myself. Just a few backstory about myself. This isn't the first YouTube channel that I have. Initially, the YouTube channel that I had was for creative purposes. I know YouTube is for creating creative purposes, but I intentionally created the first YouTube I had back in 2014, maybe 2015. I created the first YouTube channel I had a while back, and I just posted just to post. It wasn't to intentionally grow my channel, just for a creative outlet. That is why I posted. I would come on YouTube and I would share my experiences, do vlogs, do a couple of things, and do talk videos. Now, before I created Divine Fem Way, I had been away from social media for a while, getting things in order, getting my life in order, just growing outside of social media. That's actually a real thing. I know people don't believe in that in the day and age that we live in. So fast forward to here, the YouTube channel that I had before, I had to just put that on pause. I had to just close that out because of certain things that I was experiencing when I started to take my YouTube channel seriously. It comes down to say that when you start to elevate, when you start to walk in your purpose, once you start to get in alignment with what God has for you, there are certain weird things that will intentionally get designed to throw you off, things that will intentionally try to throw you off your journey. Now, these are some of the things that I experienced, and these were some of the things that I held on to for so long. This is why I said I feel like I should have led my channel with this, but I didn't. So right now, right here, I'm going to say a couple of things that I experienced, and I make this video not to bash anyone, not to talk down on anyone, but to simply share my experience. And I know that some way, somehow, a girl, even a guy, whoever might be wanting to step into their purpose and might feel discouraged because of the things that they will experience. And I'm here to tell you that you can keep going, you can keep creating, and you can keep walking in that light regardless of what comes at you. But here are some few things to know. So right off the bat, the very first thing is the doubt. A lot of people will try to doubt you. A lot of people will doubt you. A lot of people will talk down at you like you cannot create what it is that you want to create. The doubt. Y'all, please forgive me. I'm trying to explain what it is that I went through in the best way possible. So if I do get emotional or if I do get weird, please stay with me. I'm not someone who's used to really speaking on things. I just kind of deal with it on my own and I move on. But some people, not just, when I say people, I mean people. I do not mean one particular person. I mean people, certain individuals that some way, somehow knew of me. And I promise you with everything, ladies, I have not met any of these people a day in my life. I don't know who these people are. As the story goes along, I'm gonna say like how I know of this situation, because oftentimes I come off aloof, oftentimes I come off nonchalant, like I'm not paying attention, but I know what's going on around me. The first thing I would say is the doubt. People will try to give you backhanded compliments, the doubt that I would receive when I was trying to create and post things. And sometimes this particular one came from family and friends. You know, when I would post things up on my YouTube, not this YouTube channel, the old one, and I would post things on YouTube, nobody would like them. But if I see certain people in real life, oh, you're doing your YouTube, I'm so proud of you. But you do not comment. You do not like my videos. You do not say anything, but you know that I'm trying to grow my channel. So it was like even people that would initially support me just stopped supporting me. That was weird to me. The doubt, the comments, the little behaviors that I would get. So if you're someone who's trying to elevate your life, this is one of the things that you might experience. You will, not might, because every successful person that I have talked to, interacted with, and even listened to on any podcast or YouTube or radio, whatever, even books, they would say the same thing: the lack of support from family and friends. I have more strangers writing to me, writing in my comment section than I did back then, people genuinely caring about what it is that I was doing. The second thing that I would say is people will talk down at you. When I started to walk in my purpose, when I started to do what it is that I genuinely love to do, not something that I was trying to learn to love how to do. I love to write. I love to speak. I love to encourage. I love to uplift. This is who I am. It's not just what I do, it's who I am. And when I was doing this, people that I, genuinely do not know of will talk down at me, and most times done indirectly. Now, where these people come from, I do not know. I have had people lie on me, which is the next thing I want to talk about. Lie on me, make up stories about me. Now, if anybody knows me in real life, I am a private person. I don't talk about my business. If I'm talking about business, I'm talking about business. I'm not talking about my personal life. To be honest, it's nobody's business. It's not your business what I do with my life. But people have made up story. Once upon a time, I made a video. I forgot what specifically I was talking about it, but I made a video on my old YouTube channel, and it was something to do with, loving yourself, liking yourself. I don't know if I mentioned relationship, but I had someone in my personal life. They came to me and they said, oh, everything is gonna be okay, and you shouldn't let people or men. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And they were like, your YouTube video, if you're dating. And I'm like, I have been single for going on 5 years. When I tell you, people will make up stories in their head, tell themselves these lies, and then project it onto my life. These were things that I was experiencing in my life, especially when I started walking in what God has called me to. The projection that I experienced from people. People projected their lives onto me. The weird things that they would tell themselves in their head, they will tell themselves weird things about me. And I get it. When you don't share your life, especially on social media, especially on the day and age that we're living in, when everything is so public, everything is not private anymore, people begin to make up assumptions and story about yourself. So when this friend, not even a friend, an acquaintance, when this girl said that, and I'm like, it threw me off, because what the heck are you talking about? In her mind, she had made it seem that I was dating someone who was not being kind. First of all, if I was dating someone, why would I come online and talk about it? Like, that's not, as a private person, why would I come online and talk about someone I'm dating? Like, it didn't really make sense, and it didn't tie into my character and who I was. So the fact that this girl girl was saying that. And it's like, again, giving her the benefit of the doubt. She didn't know me like that. We weren't friends. We were acquaintances. But that's the thing. When people are an acquaintance, they have this feeling that they know you. And sometimes when people don't know you, they try to paint this picture out like they know you, or they try to project the image they've created in their mind onto you. These were some of the things that I had to deal with. The people talking down at me, the people projecting. The projection is something that till this day I carry for so long. And I'm like, I get it when you don't talk about yourself. People are quick to assume whatever it is. But some of the things that these people will say and assume about me was just so off-putting. Like, honestly, for example, people will assume I'm ugly. People will assume I'm broke. People will assume I don't have an education. People will assume that my life is going in the most completely disastrous way. But you know what's funny? When these same individuals, again, I'm talking about multiple people, not just one person, when these people meet me in real life, the tone changes. I mean, start fixing up their hair. And I know I said I haven't met these people. I'm also talking about people in my past who have made assumptions about me and met me in real life. They assume one way about my life, then meet me in real life, and then the tone changes. I mean, I walk into a room, everyone starts sitting up. They start sitting up straight. They start fixing their hair. They start, looking at me and trying to not make me see that they're looking at me, just weird behavior. If I'm so ugly and if I'm so uneducated and if I'm so, if you've talked about me in the most disrespectful and negative light, why are you fixing yourself up when I walk into a room? Because I notice those things and I know I come across aloof. I come across, if you met me in real life, I come across nonchalant. I come across aloof, like my mind's not really here, but I'm paying attention to those things. You're fixing your shirt, you're fixing your hair, you're straightening up. What is the issue? Because I thought 5 seconds ago online I was ugly. Ladies, these are some of the things that you will experience. People will project onto you, and it's mostly the things they project onto you sometimes aren't even in the negative light. However, there are people who will project onto you and place you on a pedestal, because I've had that happen to me as well. I'll have people meet me and they will assume the most extravagant things about my life. And I'm like, no, like that's far from home. Like, bring it back, or you can genuinely just ask me about my life and I will tell you. If I felt that it was fitting for you to know, I would tell you. But people don't do this. They assume that I'm not equipped to be a speaker. I'm not equipped to be a writer. I'm not equipped to do the things that God literally wrote in the book of life that was destined for me to do. They assume that I am not equipped to do what God has ordained me to do. And every single time I get on here to do these things, some way, somehow, these people find me. Another thing I would say, ladies, is the bullying. The bullying, I am someone who I hold myself in such high esteem. I have been through so many things in my life. It's going to take a lot to bring me down, no matter how I look. I know I don't talk about this a lot. No matter how I look on the outside, it's going to take a lot to knock me off how I place myself. I love myself. Sometimes I love myself way too much. I've been told this, honestly. Sometimes I love myself way too much. And I've had people come into my life and intentionally try to knock me down. And if I tell y'all some of these people, I'm talking, these are people with numbers for subscribers, numbers when it comes to Instagram. Again, more than one people trying to bully me, trying to talk down at me. Once you're trying to elevate your life and there is something within you that is great, people will bully you. Whether they're doing it intentionally, indirectly, directly, they will bully you. They will try to knock you down a few pegs. I've experienced this. Once upon a time, there was this quote. This is why I don't care how blue a check is on a person's profile. Who are you as an individual? Because for me, I don't care how the numbers look, how the subscribe numbers look on my page. I cannot work with anybody. I cannot afford to work with anybody. That's not me. That has never been me. And I know, ladies, I'm making this video because I know there are certain that if you're watching this, you're most likely trying to build something for yourself. You're trying to elevate yourself in whatever way that is. And people will come to you trying to help you. But understand this, ask yourself, is it worth it? Because me personally, I'm never going to pretend to like someone just because I feel you can get me here or what. If I don't like you, I'm not working with you. I don't care how far you think you can get me in my career. There was a life coach. I wasn't going to talk about this, but there was a particular coach. I looked up to this man. Like, I looked up to this particular person. I supported them, watched every video. I get on their YouTube, and this man is talking about my hair. And again, mind you, I've never met these people in my life before. This particular person, there are multiple people, but I'm going to give you an example with this particular coach. I've never met this man before in my life. I don't know him. All I know is that he's someone that I watched online. I get on this man's page and he's talking about my hair. He's talking about my look. He's talking about me. And mind you, I'm not going to say my degree, but I have a degree. And this man would always throw jabs like, I'm a coach, I'm a coach. I may not have a degree, and people with degrees don't always know what they were. He was being so condescending. And I know the first question you all might ask is, well, how do you know it's you? Because I know. And I know that's not a lot to go off of. If I say things very specific on my social media and you take to your YouTube channel continuously, actively make videos that are so specific to the things that I'm saying on my social media, not once, not twice, not 3 times. At this point, you're watching me, and I'm not a stupid person. Not everybody is going to school to have the degrees that I have, but then again, I might be mistaken, so we'll leave that alone. And mind you, ladies, let me insert this right here. Not once have I ever in my life put my college education in front of anybody's face. I've never used it against anyone. I've never implied or implicated that I was better than anyone because I had a degree. Not once. So where this was coming from, I have no idea. No idea where this was coming from. And it was so disheartening. This is what I mean by people will get intimidated by you. People will bully you. People will try to knock you down a peg. You can throw whatever stones that you are trying to throw at me. But at the end of the day, I like myself. I love myself. I'm here to stay. No matter how long it takes me to build what I am building, God has called me. The reason I'm behind the camera screen isn't because I don't like myself. Isn't because I don't like the way I look. I love myself. I love the way that I look. I genuinely don't feel like it's time for me to show myself, and that's okay. And I'm going to give myself the grace to do that. When people feel intimidated by you, they start trying to find things about you to knock you down. And you will experience this when you are trying to elevate your lives, ladies. When you are trying to elevate yourself, you will experience this. How can a grown man who has all these success, you have the house, you have the car, you have the family, you have the books, you have the success, get threatened by someone? Why? Because what is it? I have a degree and you don't? You can afford school. You can go to school to get that, but you don't want to do that. You want to knock me down a peg to feel good about yourself. These were some of the things that I was experiencing when I was trying to build on my old YouTube channels, ladies. And I didn't want to talk about it, but now I feel, you know what? Let me talk about it. The way that I have just been bullied, been talked down at, been talked bad about. I have people I have never met going around telling people that I'm trying to get with them. Another thing is I've had people copy and steal my work. And this, I'm going to get comfortable, ladies, to talk about this one. When you are trying to build something for yourself, when you are trying to elevate yourself, even when you're trying to share yourself on social media, no matter how small you feel like your content is, you are valuable. Do you hear me? You are valuable. You are so valuable. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional right now. Because when you hold yourself to a high esteem, the way people hate that, When you are confident within yourself, the way people hate that and try to project onto you, try to make you bad. I had people steal my work and then in the same breath talk down at me that I am trying to clout chase, that I am trying to, like, in those moments, I'm like, genuinely, who are these people? And me, I'm spiritually gifted. I don't talk about that a lot because I know things. I see things. I dream of things. Before someone is coming my direction, I've seen it. 8, 9 times out of 10, I've seen you coming before you've come. Why? And I'm asking myself, why did I go through these things? And to be honest, I went through these things because I knew in this moment I would have to talk about these things. I know now that there is a young lady out there trying to build herself, and there are bullies out there trying to knock her down. Him or her, whoever it is, trying to knock you down. And you know why they try to knock you down? Because they see your light. They see your potential. They know that you are going to be someone great. They feel intimidated, whether by your knowledge, whether by your degree, whether by your wisdom, whether by the way people like you, whatever it is, for multiple reasons. When God calls you, it is a strong calling. It is a work that nobody can explain. You have that feeling. For a very, very long time in my life, I never feared failure. I never feared failure in my life. You know what? I feared success. I feared success because I would look around and see all these successful people with bad character. How can you act like this? And God has given you a platform. Your followers and your people don't see the way that you see. But I told y'all, I have a gift of seeing past through the shield that people put on. And sometimes that is a heavy cross to carry. That is a heavy burden to carry. Imagine admiring someone, telling yourself you're going to work with someone someday, and you get on their YouTube page and they're talking down at you. Do you know what that does to a person? It's hurtful. That's why I say, ladies, no matter how much you think you feel that anybody could help you, sometimes these people are trying to get close to you so they can steal your work. I had people steal my work, and in the same breath, try to turn around and say, I am trying to clout chase because their YouTube numbers are higher, or their Instagram numbers are higher, or their Twitter numbers are higher. And imagine had I come out and talked about it. This girl with less than 300 subscribers is saying that someone with thousands of subscribers is stealing their work. Imagine the mental turmoil that I would have gone through with people attacking me constantly every day, calling me a clout chaser. I make this video not to scare you, ladies, not to discourage you to not go after your dreams, but I want you to go after your goals and your dreams confidently. So when these things are happening to you, you stand tall. Most of the times, these people don't like their lives. They don't like themselves. So for you to think within their midst of dislike, they are going to find some likeness for you is most likely not going to happen. It's unimaginable. They don't like themselves. How are they going to like you? The projection that I have dealt with in my life, people will legit make up story, and it would be the weirdest, most disgusting, most disheartening stories directed towards me. I remember, like the story I was saying, this person will make up a story that I was in a relationship and I was in a bad relationship and they were treating me bad. And I'm like, I haven't dated anyone in years. Where is this coming from? And I know sometimes people think, oh, it's minuscule. Don't pay attention to it. It's just people do this. But at the end of the day, if you're on the opposite end of receiving these things, it can be mentally draining. Do you know how delusional of a human being you have to be to make up stories in your head, tell yourself the stories are real, and project that onto a person's life? But these are what these people will do. If you are inspired by someone, if you see greatness within them, you reach out to them, you tell them that you're proud of them, of the work that they are doing, you leave a comment under their YouTube video, you like their video, you do something. But to go on a YouTube channel and make multiple videos subliminally discussing them, subliminally projecting onto them, throwing insults, backhanded compliments, is passive aggressive, and it's mean. These are mean-spirited people. Now, once again, ladies, I'm not making this video to discourage you all, to encourage you all to throw in the towel. That's not what I'm doing. That's never what I'm doing. I make these videos to prepare you, because out there are bullies. There are people who will talk down at your life. There are people who the enemies will use. And the funny thing about it, these people have convinced themselves that they are good individuals. That's why I constantly say on my channel to use discernment where you meet someone. It doesn't matter how their life looks. It doesn't matter what they're saying they've accomplished on social media. It doesn't matter whatever business they think they're trying to create. You have to use discernment. Sometimes these people are genuinely mean bullies. They are mean. You know, I used to pray, and I remember being so frustrated with God when I evaluate my life and I look and I see the things that I have experienced, when I see some of the peoples that I've crossed paths with, and I say, God, why am I always meeting people like this? Why am I always, and you know, over the years, I've learned how to navigate these spaces. I've learned how to I've grown, I've grown in such a way that I know not everything deserves my reaction. Not everything deserves my attention. I used to get frustrated with God. It's like, you never send me people who genuinely see my light and want to elevate me. You never allow me to cross path with people who are willing to uplift me and push me out there and, just be a helping hand, be supportive and genuinely care and love me as a creator, as a person, as just an individual. Although that was me like negatively projecting. God sends good and bad people to our lives. It's just the level that we are on. We are aligned, and it's a whole another thing. I can make a video about that later on. But I used to get so frustrated with God. It's like, you never genuinely send me kind-hearted people. Like, I know I have this light within me, and I know I have this healing nature. I know that I am an empath. I know that I can help people through the things that they are going through. But it feels like I've always been placed in situations where I've constantly had to mirror people's behaviors back to them. And I'm not saying that not necessarily in the sense that I'm being a nasty person like these people are to me. I'm saying that in the sense that I've generally just had to be myself. But it gets tiring, it gets exhausting, constantly having to overcompensate for people's negative behaviors that they don't want to see about themselves. Someone who is happy with their lives isn't doing things like this. They will not do things like this. Someone that genuinely cares about you and your work will tell you that you are doing a good job. You will see it through their actions. You will see it through the things that they do. The things that I experienced, not just for months, the things that I experienced, and I felt like I held on to this for so long that I don't want to hold on to it anymore. And I think maybe this was what God was trying to tell me. Release it. Release the anger you felt towards these people that will find you and just randomly start picking at you. Because this isn't initially what I experienced. I said I wanted to be a writer or a creator or whatever, and then all these people with their opinions start making YouTube videos about what I should be doing. When I was on Twitter, I was tweeting this way. When I was on Twitter, I was doing this, and I was posting this. Promise you, ladies, when someone genuinely cares about you and the work that you are trying to create, you will know. It will be genuine. It will be kind. It will be uplifting. It will be encouraging. There won't be side comments. There won't be passive-aggressive YouTube videos being made about you. There won't be weird things said about you. There won't be lies being told about you. You won't be doubting the work that you are being called to. You will get inspired by the people around you every day. If you're not being inspired, if you're not being motivated, if you're not being uplifted, you don't need these kinds of people around you. These are people trying to feel better about themselves, and they don't care if they knock other people down to do that. This is not that channel. This is not that channel you will find, and you will try to intimidate me. You will try to bully me. You will try to talk down at me subliminally. You can go straight to hell. Excuse my language, ladies. I know that we don't use that here, but I just had to, because some of the things that I experienced was uncalled for, was disheartening, was mean-spirited, was just was just wrong. It was just very wrong. There was another experience I had with another creator. This girl does relationship videos. She gives advice on YouTube for relationship, and she transitioned to personal development. When she found my video, all of a sudden she went from relationship to personal development. Okay, we can all make our switches on YouTube if we want. Mind you, I don't know these people. I don't know this girl. I genuinely don't know this girl. She's been dying for my attention. I'm giving her this 5 seconds of attention so she can stop crying. She started doing personal development. I went away. I usually take hiatus, so I went away from social media, and it got very, very weird. I would come on YouTube with a particular hairstyle. She would have the same hairstyle. I would say certain things in my video. She started acting the way that I was acting. I would come on YouTube with a video and not put makeup on my face. Her very next video, she didn't have makeup on her face. It got weird. But now she's doing femininity videos. When I tell you all, I have experienced, I shouldn't be laughing. I have experienced some of the most weird things. And these are people with numbers for subscribers. These are people that have engagement. These are people that are way farther, on paper. And there was another creator. And when I tell you there are multiple people, I mean there are multiple people. And for a very long time, this made me uncomfortable. What is it about me that makes all these people genuinely just want to tear me down? Some of the things that I have experienced in this life, some of the things that I have experienced in my life, there are certain things that I will not allow ever in my life again. Me being quiet, me being patient, me being nonchalant, do not ever in your life mistake who I am, my character, for weakness, because those people who genuinely know me, they know, that's all I'm gonna say. Nothing about me is weak. But stealing my work, talking down at me, bullying me, subliminally making YouTube videos directed towards me, stop being a coward. Because at this point, it's giving obsession. And when you go to sleep at night, ask yourself this. This is a question for those people that intentionally try to push me off of my path, intentionally try to be mean to me, intentionally try to steal from me, intentionally just try to make me feel unworthy of what I was that I was trying to create and get for myself. Ask yourself this question. What is it about this girl with less than 300 subscribers? What is it about this girl that had less than 300 subscribers that made you feel so threatened with all your success, with all your accomplishment, with everything that God has blessed you with? What is it about this girl that had less than 300 subscribers that made me feel unworthy, that made me feel uncomfortable, that made me feel intimidated, that made me feel so unkind to her? Because at the end of the day, you can lie to your followers, you can lie to your subscribers, you can lie to whoever, but you cannot lie to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. I sure as heck cannot lie to me. What I went through, I didn't deserve that. The way people talked at me, the way people talked down at me, the way people came at me. And mind you, I keep emphasizing on this, I have never met these people. If you're coming at me and it's so specific, what is it? What is it about me that made you all so nervous? Because I hope what I'm about to say, makes you way more nervous. I am going to step into my light. I'm going to go after what it is the Most High has called me to do. And it might not be today, and it might not be tomorrow, and it might not be next year, but there is going to be a day, there is going to be a time that God says okay. And when I have that okay, you will get tired of seeing me. You will get tired of hearing of me. You will get tired of my presence. But guess what? I am not going anywhere, because you will have to endure it. That is the confident level that I am on. That is the level that I am on, because it's going to take more than gossip, more than backbiting, more than your stupid assumptions about me to knock me off of where I am right now. The girl on that old YouTube channel allowed that. This woman right here is not going to allow that. So you can say whatever it is that you want. But at the end of the day, I know myself. And even if it took me a while to get here, I'm here. Ladies, I didn't mean to make this video long. Once again, I'm saying this because there's someone out there who will feel discouraged. People will talk about you. People will lie about you. People will make up stories about you. People will belittle you. People will get intimidated by you. People will see your greatness, your potential, and try to limit you and try to knock you down a few pegs. People will do a lot of things to you just so that you cannot rise and be in that position that God calls you to be. I am here to tell you, you have to create a tunnel vision and move. That is exactly what you have to do. There was another and I don't know why I feel the need to say this, but let me say this. There was another creator. This man, when I made the decision on my old channel to start going after the speaking and the writing and just in this content speaking to people, there were a few creators that I was watching. And one of the creators I was watching, I've watched this particular person for a year, not a year, but for some time. And this man posted like a funny meme to his story, and I remember responding to that story. And I have, if you know me in real life, I have a witty, fun personality. Like I'm funny. Like I know most people don't see that side to me, but I make jokes a lot. And I typed up something that was funny. Like, to me it was, maybe to him, he was like, I don't know this person. I didn't even respect this particular creator to respond. It was something funny, lighthearted, but they responded. Okay, they didn't say anything out of the ordinary. It was just like one respond, and that was it. And tell me why. It's like, I genuinely don't know. I don't want to make things up, you all, but something was said about me through that message that I sent. And it wasn't like a direct message, and because I'm not usually on social media, especially Instagram, but on Instagram, when you post something to your story and you respond to it, it goes straight to your DMs. So when it went to the DMs, I don't know if this creator was going around telling people I'm trying to hit on him or I'm trying to talk to him in that matter. When I tell you, some of the weirdest things happen, and most of the times is through influencers or creators, other creators. That's why right now, like I said, I don't care how blue a check mark you have. Some of these people's characters are very off-putting. After that, I remember unfollowing, deleting, removing, and even at that, I don't know how certain other people will know of me. That's why I have this big question mark. Was something said about me? But I'm not going to think too much about it. Again, this was some of the things that I experienced that I feel the need to share with you all. I have had some of the weirdest experience. I have had some of the people that I have looked up to talk down at me, talk bad about me, project their insecurities onto me. And it's honestly so disheartening. When you make that decision to elevate your life, you need to also get prepared, because things are going to be revealed to you. Things about people, things about the things that you are trying to create, things about how certain industries are. And for a very long time, I would always try to wrap my head around it. It was never fear of failure. I say this as confidently as I can. There is nothing that I want, that I choose to create, that I cannot create. I'm that gifted. I don't say that through cockiness. I say that with confidence that I am gifted. If God puts it in my mind, it's coming to life. I don't care how long it takes. I'm birthing it to life. But it's the fear of success, the way your life changes when you get successful. And yeah, there are some good parts to it. There are some good parts to it when you elevate your life in that way. But the way that I got to see how certain people who are quote unquote successful were acting, I do not want that in my life as a friend, as a mentor, as anything. No, I can genuinely say that I believe that I deserve so much better than this. I deserve so much better than the way that I've been treated, the way I've been spoken about, the way that I've been looked down at. Because that was one of a lot of these people's, they would try to convince themselves of everything to make themselves feel better about me and my presence. They try to look down at me. Oh, I'm successful. You're not. I've created this for myself and you haven't. I don't care how my life looks right now. When I tell you all that I have been through some things and I genuinely, with every fiber in my being, love myself. The love that I have for myself and the Most High was what drove me back to YouTube, was what drove me back to create, to start creating, to start speaking to women specifically. Because if most of you all knew the power that you had within yourself, you would let nothing and no one and no insecurity, no jealousy, no envy, no intimidation hold you back. So when these people spend time looking at you, you spend time looking at the Most High. You spend time looking at your craft. You spend time looking at where the direction that the Most High is pointing you towards. Not people speaking down at you. Not people trying to stroke their ego by comparing their lives to yours. Ladies, I know that this is one of the longest videos that I made, but I feel that in my heart and in my spirit that by me sharing this, by me sharing parts of my life and my story and what I went through, that you all can get a glimpse of what it's like when you start to elevate yourself. People will feel intimidated, people will feel threatened by you, people will treat you negatively. But it's your responsibility to be resilient. Find people around you who love you, who support you, who can uplift you, who will drive you to the top, because there are good people out there. But again, you have to use your discernment. There was a saying that goes that just because you're thirsty doesn't mean you drink from every cup. That's not my saying. I heard it from somewhere and I think I'm abbreviating, but it's still the same message. Just because you are thirsty does not mean you drink from every cup, because you just might be drinking poison. My advice to you all, I have given it. Pray for these individuals. Sometimes certain things that may be going on in someone's life, they don't have the courage to speak on it, but whatever way that makes them feel better, even if it means tearing someone else down, they do that. So sometimes it doesn't make it right, but sometimes you have to look at it from that perspective. So when these things are happening to you, please remember to keep your focus. Keep tunnel vision, keep pushing, keep praying. The Most High will align you with who needs to be aligned with you. You will never lack anything. Continue to persevere. Do you hear me? And do not, under any circumstances, internalize the behavior that these people are projecting onto you. I've said it in a different video and I will say it here. It has everything to do with them and most likely nothing to do with you. Keep shining, ladies. And I'm always someone who learned how to transmute that energy, but I know that this story, some way, somehow, this is something that someone else is going through. And I need you all to know that it has nothing to do with you. Keep moving, keep building, keep going where God has directed you to go. So thank you all so much for stopping by. I really, really, really appreciate your presence here on my channel. Look forward to more amazing, life-changing videos. We're going to talk about femininity. I have so many topics coming up for you all. Thank you all so much for the support. I'm really appreciative for the interaction that I get on here. I'm really appreciative of the comments that you all leave here. So thank you so much. Okay, I hope to see you in my next topic. Bye.